Yeah,
Yeah,
Warsh.
my grandfather's from Ohio.
Ohio?
Yeah,
Hello?
gonna go wash the car.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, that's how they talk.
Yep. Or like people from Canada, like it's all a boot. It's all
Well,
Oh
about the game.
yeah.
Like we have ways of
Uh,
making you say the letter O.
it's called a knife and a pen and
Yes.
and a and a cutlass.
I always give JT shit about being Canadian.
well, I mean,
Mostly because it's just fun. Like we're gonna come
with
up there and take all your maple syrup, but
without Canada, we wouldn't have basketball. It's a sport I don't watch, but whatever.
yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like football. I like I like both kinds of football
Well,
to a degree, but
well, it.
I prefer soccer.
Yeah, I see.
well, that's one of the kinds of football.
Yep.
I can't get in as I'm sitting here wearing my Seattle Seahawks jersey. I cannot get into football, the soccer. Like we used to have a joke when I was DJing is that we could think of better things to do with a bucket of eggs and a big rubber cock than watch soccer because it seems like you're not going to get anything either way. So
Well, I mean, it's different if you're kind of vested, for some way. Like, my son was a linebacker in American football, and he was a H back or a tight end, and they talked him into being the goalkeeper uh, for his soccer team, and it was no big deal until he learned that as long as you're going for the ball, you can lay a motherfucker out. And
yes.
he thought it was fun.
Yeah,
And
well, when I was a kid, that's why we liked playing soccer. Like, I always played
yeah,
defender or I played goalie, and it was like,
right.
hey, as long as you're actually going for the ball,
Yeah, you could do
all
it. Yeah,
bets are kind of off.
yeah. And so, I mean, he was really aggressive. I mean, once you came into the box, man, it was on. It was a game. He was like, if you stutter step or anything, I'm coming, and I'm gonna snatch that ball up and fuck around and be there if you want.
And I mean,
Uh,
some of the injuries for like American football are bad, but you watch some of the injuries for soccer,
oh
and they're brutal. Like
there
bones
was
sticking out of legs and shit. Like,
man,
oh man.
this kid, he was playing. He was on my son's team. He was a freshman, and my son was a junior. And the kid just got his braces off, right? And that evening after school, he goes out to soccer practice. He's trying to dive and head the ball into the thing as Noah is going to knee the ball with all his might.
Oh no.
He shattered like the left side of the kid's jaw, knocked teeth out, uh, broke
Shit.
his collarbone, gave him a concussion. When he fell, he broke his wrist on that. I mean, fuck this kid up, man. And I'm like, damn, man, I've seen a lot of people get hit and things broken, but I've not seen anybody on the football field take
Right.
that.
Right,
Uh,
but for American football, the big concern is whether the kids are wearing pads and they've got a decent enough helmet to stop the concussions. Meanwhile, you have kids that are now crippled from playing soccer.
well,
You know what?
Believe
I
it,
mean,
believe
I
it
mean,
or not, soccer is one of the Air Force approved sports.
I do
uh,
believe it.
but the thing is, though, I mean,
We had to play it in training.
there's not a
I loved it.
child
I played it in college too.
there's not a childhood activity that has the injury rating that bicycles have.
Oh no
Period.
shit.
Whether you want to talk about concussions, broken bones, sprains, scrapes, whatever,
Yeah,
the
this
bicycles are number one mathematically
this
all over the
modern
country.
generation with their bicycle helmets, knee pads, and elbow pads, they're a bunch of pussies. We were going off,
Yeah, on
janky.
ET asphalt with their face and
Yes,
teeth.
we were going off janky ramps that we had made in the garage in like 5 minutes with a bunch of penny nails and some warped 2x4s and, some
Oh man.
degrading plywood. and we were jumping off of those, and we were fine. Yeah, we fucked ourselves up a couple of times. Let's admit that, but we didn't need a goddamn helmet. Jesus Christ.
Oh, we had bicycles, of course. I biked all around, but the thing that was kind of neat and new and all that was the skateboard. Was really fun.
Yep.
And we had a hill that was like, well, it's still there actually, but there's this hill. It's like 3 miles, just down, and it's curvy and all that.
You went butt boarding, didn't you?
Oh hell yeah, man! Because if you hit a rock, you're done, and
You're
there's
dead.
rocks.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't give a damn.
Yep.
I mean, look,
You can always tell the kids that went
Yeah.
butt boarding because the back of the heels of their shoes are like
Oh hell yeah!
all angled
Yeah.
from trying to
Yeah.
stop.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you get going so fast on that shit that your brakes were no longer really functional on the bike. You'll slow down, but they'll fall apart if you try to stop too much. You have to do the slide. You have to
Yep.
to stop it. And it was cool though, because towards the bottom of it they had this thing where they tested a concrete section in the road. So when you were crossing that, it's you've got to figure something fucking out, because the road stops and it's busy at the bottom.
No
So,
shit.
Yeah.
And then
good
you're
luck,
really
buddy.
boned. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah. But
Hello,
Okay.
Cameron. Hello, Devin.
hi friends.
So have you ever passed a Corvette and a bicycle?
No, but
The,
I
an-
mean,
the,
I have
the
sat
answer
on a
is
skate.
yes, I have. I've passed a Corvette and a bicycle.
I did sit on a skateboard once.
It's like a Ferris
Grabbed
Bueller's
truck.
Day Off moment where the guy's just like
It's a
looking at this
55
bicycle
mile an
going
hour
by.
zone. It's about it's a 55 mile an hour zone, and I'm doing about 80. Needless to say, it's a little downhill.
Yeah, the front wheels all wobbling and shit. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, yeah. We did some. Yeah, I remember we discovered skateboards and bikes were done. At that point, it was like all skateboarding all the time.
Well, yeah, the bikes had the distance, man. I mean, you could just
Oh,
if
yeah.
you could go across town on a bike, and the skateboard wear your ass out.
Well, and
Going
that was
across
kind of
town.
my progression went from bikes to skateboards and then from skateboards to Volkswagens. And the Volkswagens were really nothing more than a means to take the skateboards longer distances.
Yeah.
That way you could get to the really cool shit to skate.
Right.
Rather than having to wear your ass out just getting there. Yeah. Or riding public transit, because that's just embarrassing.
I'm a little too old for skateboards. They came out after I was out of the teenage stuff.
Yeah.
Man,
But
Yeah.
I have done 50 and 60 mile an hour a day trips on a bicycle.
Mm.
Man, they really tried to force feed. There was the Skate or Die arcade game.
Yeah, yeah.
That was in everywhere. I mean, this is Skate or Die.
Yeah, it was
And-
that arcade game was in every skate shop you ever walked into. Cal Skate
Hell
and
yeah.
Sport, Mrs. A's, all of them
Yeah.
had, Skate or Die.
Yeah.
Like right when you walk in the door, bam, there's a Skate or Die right there. Or 720.
Yeah.
Its actual name was 720. But
Yeah,
that was the motto every time you walk by, Skate or Die.
Man, I bet that game has caused more injuries than Grand Theft Auto.
No shit. Yes.
I'm just saying, because it'd be like, oh man, I don't know shit about how to do a skateboard, and none of us do, so nobody's
And
teaching us
the
shit.
whole idea
And-
of the game
but
was
we're
stupid
gonna pull
too.
this shit off. Yeah.
Well, the whole idea of the game was stupid too. It's like you have to go around this little city, which was basically one of the first open world games that we had ever
Yeah.
seen. And you go
Yeah.
skating around, but you're on a timer. You have so much time before you can get to one of the skate parks. And if you don't get there in time, then what happens? A cloud of bees starts chasing you around. It's like,
Yeah, and you've got to dodge this shit and get to the skate park. Yeah.
and here is the funny part about that. So there was this one time I'm skating out in front of my buddy's house, and his parents had this raised section of railroad ties where they had this raised garden. And I come over and I ollie and I rail slide across the edge of this railroad tie, and I come down the other side, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome," and then I'm like, "What are all these bugs?" And in between the railroad ties at the back end of it was a yellow jacket nest.
Oh my God!
And I got stung so many times because by the time I knew that I had pissed them off, it was already too late because it was like right on them, and evidently one of my wheels had nicked that nest, and they were pissed. And so the whole bunch of us took off running down the street because these yellow jackets were chasing us, and I'm like, that game was really prophetic. it saw into my future.
I couldn't do the stunts or nothing, but I was badass on skateboard jousting with a trash can lid and a broom.
Yeah,
I'd knock you off.
God, we did that too. God, we were dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Well, we just shot each other with BB guns.
Oh yeah, we did that too. Yes,
we did that too. I mean, actually, we had a rule if you had to cry or something, you could cry on the way to the little fort that we had, and you could cry, but you can't go home crying.
Yeah,
because then everybody gets in trouble. So
I
mean, yeah.
One guy I know, he's like a year younger than me. To this day, he still has a copperhead BB stuck in his lip. It's like right in his lip, and you can feel it moving around in there.
Yeah. If something didn't fucked up from you on your body permanently from your childhood, you didn't really
do it right. Yeah,
you sucked at a child.
These kids today with their iPads and their fucking Fortnite, they're never gonna know the joy of childhood.
There are no scars.
Yeah, no scars.
I mean? Fuck. Their
they got
body
the carpal
works.
tunnel syndrome.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So this week's stupid news is that Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, the Pinkerton.
Yeah. Oh my God, this pisses me off so fucking bad. So this guy, he plays Magic the Gathering. He goes to a friendly local neighborhood game shop, and he puts an order in for March of the Machines. He plays Magic the Gathering. He won the last booster set that came out. Plunks down $4,000. The guy threw down $4,000. So the shop owner puts in the order for it because they didn't have all those cards. They receive it, and the way that, and they didn't explicitly say this, but the way that he's describing it is that it came in a shipping box. You know, there's no markings on it other than a label saying that it came from Wizards of the Coast, right? So that he got it home, opened it up, and discovered that what he had received was not what he had ordered. So he looks in the box, and what's in there is March of the Machines Aftermath, which is the next expansion that is not due out until May 12th.
Wow.
And so he's like, okay, well, it's not what I ordered, but this is fucking awesome. I'm keeping this instead. And he decides that, and he is not by any means like a professional YouTuber or anything like that. He decides that he's going to open this box on his YouTube channel, and he starts doing reveals of this. And over the course of like 3 days, like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, he did these reveal videos. Saturday morning, there's a knock on his front door. And his wife opens the door, and these two assholes are very belligerent with her, call him out by name, wanting to talk to him about receiving stolen property, and introduce themselves as Pinkerton investigators.
See, that's when you got to tell him to get the fuck off your lawn.
Wait, this gets better. Yeah. She says, I'm going to go get him because he's in their back spare bedroom. And she says, I'll be right back. I'll go get him. And she goes to shut the door. The Pinkertons push open the door and try to force themselves inside.
At that point, there would be a 357 entering.
This is exactly what I said. So he comes out and he talked to them. And when I was reading this article, my response to it was lucky it wasn't my house. Because if it was my house, we would be reading a different article because there would be two dead Pinkertons on my front porch.
Man,
And
my dog
I would not
go
feel guilty about it.
ballistic.
In fact, I would probably giggle maniacally and maybe piss on their corpses after I was done, right
that's
before I
good.
called the cops and said I just killed 2 home invaders.
My dogs go
I
off.
don't
and
even have to
come around.
call the cops. I call the posse.
Right.
We have a local posse.
Right. And so they tell him that he has to give them all of the cards and the foil wrappers they came in and all material related to, because he's going to face between 1 and 10 years in jail and possibly a $200,000 fine plus legal fees if he doesn't. And they give him a card with a phone number to Watsy to call, and he calls Watsy while they're evidently standing in his fucking living room, which I'm still not sure why they were Why are these fuckers not dead? I'm still confused over that. But anyways, they're standing in his living room, and he calls Watsy, and he gets this guy who is, and I quote, extremely apologetic. But they did hire Pinkertons to investigate a possible theft situation, and so I'm really sorry. I'll go. What cards do you want? We'll replace them. Blah blah blah.
Who the fuck hires the bad guys from Red Dead Redemption 2 to do your business? I'm just saying, it's a fucking toy company at heart. So
here's my point.
Is going to hire the fucking.
I've got bulleted points on this. Number 1, Pinkertons are not law enforcement. Tell them to fuck off and get off your lawn, for one, and don't give them shit. Don't give anything back. 2. If there was really... Wizards also admitted that there was no theft. That this was probably an error in distribution.
I'm selling those cards. If they ever do some shit like that, I'm selling that shit. So they can come up with their Pinkerton stuff. I sold that shit.
Yeah, like I said,
I got $8,000 for it.
Yeah, 1, fuck off, get off my lawn. 2, if there was really a theft, it wouldn't have been Pinkertons. It would have been a lawyer, which would have probably been an email or a phone call, or it would have been cops or the FBI. The only time you send Pinkertons is when you don't have any actual real legal course, and so you need to intimidate somebody to get it in, because everybody knows what Pinkertons do. They're basically mercenaries and bounty hunters. That's all they are. And, I just...
You answer their door naked when they do. You just open the door open.
Holding a knife in your teeth.
Yes. And what the fuck? What do you want? And then you look at the guy, my eyes are up here, motherfucker. You're getting sleepy.
Yeah, I read this and I've been following it. And I'm like, my mind is blown. I mean, that they could have jumped the shark so badly in the past. Well, shit, this really started, this hullabaloo started in December.
With themselves.
Yeah, and they've just been, skydiving, God. I can't believe anybody, and yet still, there are people on Twitter that want to support Watsy, and I'm like, oh my God, if you go even before the whole OGL thing that started in December, if you go before that, they were known as the company that hired a rapist and sexual predator, and Mike Merles, the head of their division, not only oversaw his hiring, but then when the public found out what this guy had done, attempted to cover it up and defended the guy. And Mike Merles wasn't fired. He still is actively collecting a paycheck from Wizards of the Coast. They just don't put him in the forefront anymore. He's doing whatever he does in the background, like, I don't know, hiring rapists and sexual predators. I mean, it's
character research, man.
There is absolutely nothing good about this company, and I every time I see somebody trying to defend them, I'm just, I don't get it. I don't understand.
How can you write about bad guys if you don't hire a couple bad guys to teach you how to be bad?
Right. Yeah.
You've got to go into the room of bondage before you can write this next
Oh,
adventure,
no.
Mr. Thompson. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just go in there,
We're
take
gonna
it.
go in there and
Yeah.
tie you to the chair.
That's right. That's
Beat the
right.
shit out of you.
Never mind that there's no bottom of the chair.
I
Don't
am
worry
baffled.
about that.
So, anyways, yeah, that,
Fable Beer Company.
yes, Fable Beard Company. So that was this week's news brief. The the weekly. What did Watsy do this week? I'm sure they'll up it next week. They'll probably kill somebody. I don't know, but so I mean there's really only one direction for them to go. So yeah, welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We'll be picking up where we left off last week. These guys have shot their particle beams at the atmosphere of ACE, and it displayed a 500-mile radius star map on the atmosphere of ACE. And where we left off, they were going to land at the modest little Class E starport on ACE to refuel and do whatever they're going to do there before heading off and following this star map. Probably going to meet with their pirate entourage from PRC, what's left of PRC, and Peter Velas's gang. But before we get started, we'd like to thank one of the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They are just products that we really like. And today we would like to thank the Speechless Bard. The Speechless Bard makes leather products for your tabletop role-playing games, such as covers for your hardcover core rulebooks. She makes dice bracelets if you like to show off your nerdy side. One of my favorites, she just came out with it. It says "fuck around and find out," which really somebody should send one of those to Watsy, is what I'm thinking, like as a care package. But
And into the White House.
yes, yeah, that too. And so yeah, she does all the customization. She does all the artwork by hand, and she's an amazingly talented artist. If you are going to order, especially if it's for a gift or something like that, you're going to want to give yourself a little bit of time because she is over in the UK, so it can take a little bit of time to cross the pond to get over here to the United States. But yes, I highly recommend ordering from her. She does amazing work. If you if you are interested in buying some swag for the Greenwater Guildhall channel, we do have a merch store via Zazzle. The description will be down in the or the link will be down in the description below. And we have this is one of the pins that I just got in. It is the pirate flag, and it is a nice button pin that we just came in. And we have some other ones. There's T-shirts of the pirate flag, as well as T-shirts for the original core group, the Wayward Bastards. And there's a fleece blanket that comes in 3 different sizes that has a map of the Braunhaven Glostian Empire on it. And so, yeah, definitely check out the merch store. All of the proceeds from that goes back into the channel. So, you know, support the channel. We like that. Oh, and subscribe so that you click the little bell so you can know when we have a new video that comes up. So, where we left off, you guys had dropped down, come in and landed at ACE. Now, ACE, as we can see here, is a binary star system, and ACE itself is 0.4 AU from the primary, or the first primary. The second primary is evidently way out here, 2,260 AU away, and it says there's a hospitable world, but I don't know about that. But anyways, this is ACE itself. It is a barren wasteland that is tidally locked, and so these green bands here and here are, you know, those are the temperate zones between the hot side and the cold side, because the planet don't spin. It's always getting heat on one side. And so where is the starport? Starport, well, that's a stupid place for the starport.
It's on the fucking break. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's well, evidently it is down in the ice fields. Well, I guess that's not a really stupid place for the.
Yeah, with a dome city.
Yeah, with the domes. Yeah, they are dome cities. So ACE stands for Argon. What is it? Argon CO2 environment. And yeah, you can't breathe out here. You have to wear I mean, it's beyond respirator mask. You need a full vac suit if you're on the surface. So all of these cities are all um, are all domed, and ACE has suffered pretty greatly because anytime that any raiders or pirates show up, they can just aim a single missile at a dome and hold them hostage until they pay the ransom, because that's all it takes to, kill hundreds of thousands of people. And so you guys land down here, have landed at their Class E starport, and for a Class E starport, it's not really that bad. So it is a cleared off ice shelf. The ice is, as you're coming in, your sensors read that the ice is probably mostly ammonia. But it is solid enough for a landing pad. They've smoothed it out with plasma cutters, and there is a docking. It almost looks like a docking collar for when you're docking with a ship up in space. It will come out and attach to your ship so that you can walk to the dome. And when you reach the dome, there is a group of 4 guys that are well, there's 2 security agents that are, and I say security agents, they're wearing coveralls and they've got like a Gauss pistol, and that's their idea of security. But there are 4 other people with them that these guys are all wearing long robes, and they got pointy hats. Like they look like wizards. These are white robes with gold trim, and all 4 of these guys are very excited to meet you.
Oh my God! More of these guys.
And before they were trying to clamber and get to you, and the 2 security guys are like, "Well, wait." The 2 security guys tell you that it. Hold on here. I was dumb and didn't bring up my dice roller. There we go. They tell you it will be 300 credits for docking fees and 1,100 credits for refueling.
Okay.
I like how Cameron's like, whatever.
Captain Beth goes, so
right. Pocket
I'm
change.
not gonna argue. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
That's chunk change.
I suggest we do whatever we can to make this as fast as possible and get the fuck off here and head to the next spot.
Who knows who else saw the map, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we want the fuel fast. We really don't want to talk to anybody about anything that has something to do with anything other than the fuel in our tanks right now. Thank you very much.
So yeah, well, the other 4 guys in the pointy hats, one of them steps forward and they're like, "Oh, are you the? We believe that you are the individuals in the ship that fired the particle beams into our atmosphere and did that spectacular display. Are we correct?"
Oh, fuck, you saw that?
I suggest we lie and say no.
No, we should say it.
Before you can answer beyond, shit, you saw that? Before you can even answer beyond that, they're like ushering you to follow them.
Look, I just want to fuel up and go, man. I don't really care about having
the map. What the fuck?
Well,
I
mean, it's gonna take probably most of the day to fill up. I mean, yeah, it's going to take most of the day to fill up. So, I mean, you know.
Okay, so you don't have anything better to do.
Well,
So I have a question about
that
the
is
law
Well,
level.
I don't
really
know.
the truth.
What's the law? What's the law level here?
So law level is 9. So I don't know. You probably thought about that before you stepped off the boat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really,
I did, but
I mean, we
can
need to
I
have
kill
a
this
meeting.
guy? Can I kill these guys?
Not yet. They might
don't-
help us.
Don't we need to have a meeting with these other motherfuckers to come up with a plan and all that? I mean, that's. I mean,
Yeah,
sightseeing,
they're still
don't-
landing, and you haven't met up with them yet, but and they're at other docking ports. You would presume that they are also. Wow, this place has law level 9. Shit. Okay. So yeah, all weapons and all armor is banned here.
Yeah.
I can't even wear my cloth.
Yep,
Can I wear
all
a
weapons and
backpack?
all armor.
Yeah.
Like,
Man,
yeah.
I don't want to go with the wizard people. I don't really give a fuck what they're talking about. I mean, just to be honest, I'm really thinking about the treasure and getting geared up and getting the fuck out of here.
Money.
I'm more interested in trying to bribe the fueling things of the other docks to try to make sure the other people get fueled slower than we do.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Wizard Hats can explain some shit here if they want to.
Well,
they want to talk to us right here.
Well, the what you would guess would be the leader of these 4 individuals. He says, well, the first thing he wants to know is he wants to know who among you is the captain.
Beth is.
And so he then directs everything to Beth, and he is very adamant, and his eyes are like crazy person eyes. They're big, and they are staring into your soul. And he goes on about this story that the ruler of ACE is not a hereditary position. And he says you have to understand that the king of ACE is chosen by the sages. That would be us. He says there's a couple more of us, but we are the core group. We get together on Sundays. And he says the last king before our current one was killed when Margadome was destroyed by Tyrian Raiders. Now, when you came in, you did see that there was a dome that was in the process. There was scaffolding and whatnot. It looks like there was the attempt to do some, rebuilding on it, but most of that dome was completely destroyed. And Tyrian Raiders, there is another planet a couple of parsecs over, Tyr. Tyr, they're a bunch of jerks. They have kind of tried to create their own little kingdom that, well, in one case it lasted something like 780 some odd years, and in Depress, and these guys are just jerks. And it wasn't until another planet had hired, I believe it was ACES. They hired Aslan mercenaries from the Glorious Empire to come in and kick their ass. And that worked great for them. But it also turned ACES into a haven for Ihati. And now ACES has a population, as you guys have known, because you kind of dealt with this when you were trying to find room for refugees. ACES has a population problem with too many Ihati. And so they've got that problem. They're trying to get rid of some of their Aslan, and they just didn't want to take any human refugees because they didn't think that they could support them. And so he says, so Margadome was destroyed by Tyrian Raiders, and he says, but we have been seeking signs of who the next king will be, and we believe it will be an offworlder, and we believe that your display with the particle beams was a portent.
Beth can be the ruler of the planet.
Oh, such a great planet.
Can I? Oh
Yeah.
man.
Well,
Hold me
I'll-
back.
Let me solve your complicated demographic issues.
Well,
That's been my dream.
here's the thing, Mr. Hat Guy.
Grand Poobah.
If you have such sway and everything on what's going on, could you make the refueling of the other ships in the system be slowed? Because we really have a big interest in going somewhere very soon, and their slow ability to refuel would help us. But we don't want them knowing that we had you hinder them. It is a test of loyalty.
Queen, and then I can just do whatever I want, right?
Right, but once, this will keep you in good favor with your future queen.
Yeah, there you go.
So make a persuasion plus. I'll say it's your choice between Soch or Charm.
Gonna go with social because Ting has been a dirty motherfucker and gets a +2 from that, and the persuade. I'll do a +3 and see what happens. Oh, I didn't even set my dice up. I'm a dirty son of a bitch.
I did the same thing. This happens to me almost weekly. I forget to open that window.
There you go. 13.
Okay, so he kind of smiles and nods at you, and he turns to Beth like, "Is that what you like?" He doesn't say anything, but he's got this look on his face like, yeah, is that what you want?
Yeah.
And so he kind of says something to one of the other guys, and they kind of run off down the corridor towards one of the other docking bays, and they're presumably going to go and take care of the issue.
That should get us quicker time to get out ahead of them when we're going to this treasure hunt.
Professor Bilzoni is kind of standing with you guys, and of course this is one of the few times that you don't even notice that he's there, and he is kind of at the back, and he's looking around and like absolutely fascinated by Ace, because Ace is one of those places that it's really outside of the Trojan Reach. Well, really inside of the Trojan Reach. It's only known as a scout class designation, and that's how it got its name. The scouts designate it as Argon CO2 environment, and the name just stuck. They just called it an acronym, ACE.
Does he know of? You said there's an old scout base around here?
No, there was an old scout that came and researched the planet.
Yeah,
probably spent all of about 15 minutes here and moved on, because it is really
Argon. Yeah.
Wonderful.
If you like Argon, then
well,
it's a lot like the other planet, the other main world where your base, where your space station is around the gas giant. Its main world, borite, that is literally the main element on the planet. And so, I mean, if you're killing ants or doing laundry, it's fantastic. But, aside from that...
Well, they probably have a business of selling liquefied argon.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, yeah.
If you're
going to do a big laser industry, this would be the planet you're probably going to want, but...
Well, I mean, Drinax needs those kind of raw materials to be able to do stuff. So being able to have a good contact, or to be the queen or whatever,
Just being able to be like, we have X amount of planets in our alliance, even if one of them is like, kind of shitty, and it's only in the alliance because I serendipitously became queen. I'm down.
It's a place where we can definitely send people to go build domes and orbital satellite missile defense systems.
Right, and pulse lasers.
Yeah.
A lot of pulse lasers.
Yeah.
But I mean, so these guys are kind of walking and talking as you're walking through the corridor, and you get this feeling like they're kind of leading you. And you reach this. There is the main dome, which they call it a city, and it's a good sized town, but it is basically the capital city. It is multiple domes that are connected. It's big enough that it's got like a monorail system and stuff like that in it. So I mean, it's not tiny, but you've been in star towns that are bigger than this, and so but these guys lead you off into into a side section, and there is this what appears to be a temple, but instead of having like a place of worship or something like that in their central chamber for this church, instead of a cross or something like that, there's a telescope. And these guys are kind of spending their days, and when you look in, there is a guy looking into this telescope, and they are monitoring the auroras that come across the atmosphere, and which are frequent. There are with this atmosphere, there are frequent lightning strikes that cause beautiful green and purple auroras that go across the atmosphere, which is exactly what your particle beams lit up, except that you guys had a firing solution that lit them up in a very specific way. And so these guys are looking at these, and of course, and they interpret what they see in these auroras. And then you showed up and actually showed them something for real. And so you're the chosen ones.
This is the best day of their lives.
Yeah,
probably.
they are really excited about you.
Do they have a star map or anything they believe of what they believe all the local systems and all that are? And if so, is it have anything where the naked space we're supposedly about to jump to?
Well, the strange thing about this is, let's see here. So these domes have only been around for a couple of centuries, a couple hundred years, and so these guys, there's nothing Sindalian about anything on this. Even the Sindalian Empire is like, this planet is garbage. Who cares? If we need argon, we'll drop a ship down, but beyond that.
Has he ever thought about taking their dome city life below ground or into the Argon Sea?
Well, some of it is semi-underground, but yeah, it's just frozen argon.
That's just good shit then.
Yeah. Yeah, on the big side, there is finally down to rock and whatnot, but there's literally frozen ammonia and methane, and there is some frozen oxygen, but because it's frozen, it's not in the atmosphere, so you can't breathe. Yeah, the planet is just a terrible place. Why you would build a colony here, nobody knows. But here is a couple thousand people, and this is not the only domed colony. There are others, and what trade happens? There's no the monorail inside of Margadome doesn't extend outside, and so the only trade that happens between these domed colonies around the world is by these nomads who possess sealed ATV vehicles and actually go out and brave the surface and drive across the plains to get to another colony to do whatever trade, and they do their trading and then bring it back. And there's a whole trade network set up on this world doing that. Yeah, that the world's very strange, but they have a tech level of 8.
This is a good place to hide some things if we ever want to as well. Like who would look here?
Yeah.
Right.
And so while you guys are kind of looking around the interior of this church, they come over to Beth and they put a a gold cloth over her shoulders.
Sweet.
And like they don't say anything, but they like keep bowing. And the guy that has been explaining everything to you kind of turns to Ting and Keith and says, "Oh, we have prepared a room for you."
Well, that's wonderful, but we're not staying. I mean, I don't know what you're saying, but
Well, you must be hungry after your journey.
No, not particularly.
You want sandwiches?
Trying to watch my weight.
I had argon for lunch, thanks.
Yeah. I'm really, I'm just. I have matters to attend to, and if you're gonna put our captain as queenship or whatever, really, I think I should go try to meet with the other pirate guys and see if they're intending to jump with us or are or what they're wanting to do.
Okay, yeah. What are you doing, Keith?
Yeah, I think Ting has the right idea, but I don't think he needs my help with that. So I am going to check this place out a little bit more. I'm curious about what they're expecting from us and what their
what's their belief system?
Belief system is, yeah.
Well, I mean that's basically it. I mean, they look at the they look at the auroras and interpret them as signs from beyond.
All right. So what duties does the queen have at this point?
Well, you would rule the entire world. Like, you would be. So their belief is that this new ruler, it will be an offworlder, and that they will deliver Ace from the threat of all raiders.
Ooh.
Like, no pressure or anything.
If I fail, or
I think we need a couple more ships.
Yeah. Who's raiding this planet anyway? What the fuck is even? Maybe it'll be easy.
Their main problem, and let me bring up the Dust Belt star map. There we go. So this is the Sindalian main, I believe. Yes. So here is Ace. Their biggest problem is from Tyr here. And also, occasionally, for raiders that have either drop tanks, inflatable bladders, or the possible jump to starship, Ogma. But mostly their problems come from Tyr. And Tyr has been problems for, pretty much everybody. They've been problems for ACES, they've been problems for... as far as they've been problems for as far rimward as Depress. So Tyr has tried to kind of take over most of this chain at one point, and has not done. Oh, they also tried to take over Dostoevsky. Yeah, they're jerks. Is what they are.
Now, if we dealt with them, we would kind of be heroes and probably could unite people behind the alliance. That'd be cool.
Well, I mean, so these sages have really no idea who you are. They just know what they saw you do, and are uniquely impressed by it. So they don't know that you are representatives of Drinax. They don't know anything about that. They don't have a whole lot of contact with anybody other than people that are trying to hold them hostage occasionally, and what few traders that come in. And so their news network is very spotty. But what you know about Tyr, like, to tell you what kind of jerks Tyr is, they held Depress up here for nearly 700 and some odd years, 787 years. It was something ridiculous. And it wasn't until ACES led their little rebellion with Aslan mercenaries from the Glorious Empire that Tyr had to pull back from Depress because they were getting the shit kicked out of them so bad that they had to pull their fleets back. And in the process of doing so, Depress has been kind of they were kind of a cultural icon of the region, and technological icon of the region. And when the Tyrian fleets left, they took with them, like, centuries old artwork from the palaces and whatnot of Depress. They took it with them, and it still sits in their palaces on Tyr today. And Depress has been lucky enough that the Imperium has decided to build a naval base. It's not a big naval base, but there is a naval base there. And they have rebuilt, but they are still Depressed. For example, is still pissed off at Tyr. Ace is still fearful of Tyr, and Aces, now that they've gotten rid of Tyr, they've got to get rid of the Aslan. They have the opposite problem.
If we're gonna, I think we should get the Harrier and do a dual ship thing if we're gonna try to go clean pirates out of Tyr, just to really increase our shit. A stealth scout ship might be really beneficial in that. But I mean, we're gonna go get treasure first, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you're not going to go back and get another ship.
So what's a palace like that Beth gets?
So it is not terribly impressive. It looks a lot like a call center office.
It sure is free. I got to say that.
Right, and I mean, there is a few sages that would operate as administrative staff, but I mean, it really depends on what is your offer to the sages of ACES? I mean, are you giving them an offer like to join Drinax, or because that could be part of their their delivery from Raiders?
Yeah, I'd say as Queen, my first action would be to join the Alliance Drinax to try and rid them of the Raider menace.
So they have started to refer to you. I mean, this is in the course of a couple of hours as you're getting this information. They have started to refer to you as Regent Beth.
Sweet.
And they're not
I
going.
Thought that would be isn't it Regentess?
Maybe, I don't know.
Are they educated enough to know?
Yeah.
We don't. Then
I mean,
I don't
know, but they're referring to you as Regent Beth, and the head the head poobah of the sages is he kind of, whenever somebody refers to you as Regent, he tries to get them to calm down. Like, maybe we're not all the way there yet, but everybody's positive that you must be the one. You are the one that the portents of the Auroras are speaking about.
Of course she's gonna accept it if she's the one.
Right?
Yeah, it seems pretty sweet. Except I don't know. It might be like having really overzealous fans follow you around, right? Like a convention or something.
We have to go get a far trader to give to him to play with.
Yeah, that would go a long ways. So Beth and Keith and I always screw up your name because I have two of you. Gregor, the three of you are kind of in talks with these guys about kind of looking over their books and what it's going to take in order to actually protect this world. And I will allow anybody who has like military tactics or tactics naval, something, either one of those skills, you can make a roll. Or You can also make an engineering role or a mechanic role, and you can add your intellect to any of those roles.
I got 12 for tactics Navy. Naval.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got 11 for naval tactics.
Okay.
I have 5 for engineering.
So Keith is looking over their technical diagrams of the damage to some of these domes, especially Marga Dome. And Keith's like shaking his head like I don't know why anybody lives here. This is stupid. I don't get it. Why it'd be better for you guys to just all pack up into a cruiser and leave. But Beth and Gregor, you're kind of looking over the naval tactics maps, and you come up with a feasible plan that you think that like 3 system defense boats would probably pretty much protect most of the planet. Because every time that historically when they've been hit, they haven't been hit by huge ships. But and system defense boats, because they are not jump capable, punch way above their weight, because all of that space that's normally taken up by jump drive is now filled with weapons and armor. And so, you don't really want to tussle with a system defense boat. I mean, a 300-ton system defense boat can really make a dent in like a 1,000-ton cruiser. So, or a 1,000-ton destroyer rather. So. So you guys are kind of looking at this and you're like, yeah, 2 or 3 system defense boats. Meanwhile, Keith's looking at it and he's like, this is useless, but whatever. Sure, if Drinax wants to dump money into it, whatever.
Let's like a big hole and live underground.
Right? Yes. It's like, oh, well, so we can rebuild this shit pile that's living on the shit pile that's already there. That's a great idea. So Ting, you make your way down to the concourse of their starport, and I say that in quotes. And you find a little dive bar. They do have an Astro Burger. I mean, there's that. But you find a little dive bar that.
Yeah, I'm gonna radio to the other pirate captain.
Well, that's where you find them. They're already sitting
Oh, okay.
there.
Well, then I will just shut the fuck up and let you narrate.
Well, this dive bar, this is one of those bars. I don't know if you've ever been in one of these little dive bars that's so small that there's only like room for 3 stools at the bar. Like it's that tiny. Yeah, those places. And like if you turn to the right, you bump the stripper on the rack behind you because that's how tight the room is. And this is one of those places. And the captain of, or rather, Peter Velas is sitting at the bar, along with
that's his name.
President Yang. And President Yang is wearing, a exceptionally expensive suit. Totally looks out of place. And the two of them are drinking whatever is considered the best at the bar, and that's probably bottom shelf anywhere else.
Ting is wearing silk, pajama-like, it's got a little pouch on his side.
You got a fanny pack.
Yeah, I got a little fanny pack, and some really lightweight slippers and nice silk with embroidery.
You're probably still wearing
black
ship shoes. So ship shoes are a mix between basically a slipper sock and the bottom is like a hard-soled shoe, and they are specifically designed for spending long term on a ship, so that because they're just more comfortable, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm in the starport and all this, and the law level, then fuck it, I'm just gonna be extremely comfortable with silk stuff. Kind of like Bruce Lee when he was the Green Hornet, the assistant, just I will put my foot in your ass because I got the unarmed combat stuff and all that. So that's kind of what I'm going
Right,
for.
right.
So yeah.
So yeah, you walk into this dive bar, and Peter Velas raises a shot glass and orders you one. Says, "Yeah, bring another round, and add my friend here."
Yeah, double whiskey, no ice.
Yep. Okay. So they give you a double whiskey, no ice.
Do they have Canadian whiskey?
Well, the bottle says that it's made with real whiskey.
There you go. That's good enough for me. And I'll just go ahead and bring it up with these two, just to be quick and to the point. It was like, how many of your ships are able to have bladders and jump to naked space and still have at least enough in the bladder to hit to the neighboring systems to leave there?
That's a really good question. So looking at this, so your destination is like right here.
That's correct. 1717.
So that's 2 jumps.
Yeah.
That's a J2, but then you've got to have enough to do something after there because we don't know what's there. So, I'm just talking to these guys to see what they're talking about with their ships. I will suggest, that it'd be nice if you're going to leave ships behind, leave them here in ACE to keep security. The Tyrian Raiders are coming through, and quite frankly, that's fucked up. We need to redivert them to ACEs so that way they'll fight the Azalons.
So, hold on here. That is a really excellent question. Let's see. The Invigilator, who belongs to President Yang, is a Star Ray class interceptor. He does have a fuel bladder, and so, but his fuel bladder is only enough to get him there.
Oh, he's only a J1. He's got to daisy chain it to get there.
Yeah.
So he's very slow.
Correct.
Okay, well then perhaps, he would be better off just temporarily.
He'd be better off if he's going to come to go to number 1 and then go to Sophis and then go to 1717.
It'd take him too long. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So man, you should stay here in ACE and just keep Raiders out of this area, and we can use this as our place of operation. In fact,
home base.
Yeah. And I'll look at the president and I'll be like, and I'm thinking the way things are turning out is we're going to be obtaining a bunch of tier Raider ships that we might not have the titles and numbers for, but we will need somebody to offload those to, and here in ACE and even over in number 1, if you're more comfortable with that, we're starting to foresee that we're really going to need a place to bring those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So President Yang.
I have a question about our ship. It has jump 3, correct?
No, your ship has jump 2 as well.
It has
But
jump
we've
2,
got a
we do have
fuel
a
bladder.
fuel bladder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with a jump with your fuel bladder, you could make a jump 2, and I believe you could make another jump 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we could hit Salif or we could come back here, but I'm just
We could even go to Homestead.
What I'm trying to find out with these guys is do my best to make them think that we have a future that's prosperous and aligns with what they want. So they'll do what I want them to do.
So Ting, make a persuasion plus soc check.
All right. I just did that roll, so it should be right there. Yeah.
Okay, so President Yang agrees that that would be a good idea, and Peter Velas also wholeheartedly agrees. And it seemed like when you brought up that maybe Yang, as you were starting to bring up that Yang should stay at ACE, and kind of secure their home, ACE as like a home base. It seemed like Peter Velas was about ready to say something, and your guess to that was that he was going to offer a berth on his Corsair, and on Lion's Bane, and but then you kind of interrupted and said, well, it would be a better idea for you to stay here. And Peter Velas like, yeah, that's a really good idea. And Peter Velas kind of looks at you and he like raises his glass, like, smooth talking.
Yeah, we're I mean, you know, just not to get into too technical terms, but I mean, we can go to the location and come back without needing to refuel. I mean, you know, if you want to send an emissary or a lieutenant or somebody to come with us to speak on your behalf on any decisions that might be taking place as we go to
We'll give them a
see the
bunk in
next
the
day,
barracks.
you know, of course we'll provide birth. We're allies, you know.
So President Yang, you have convinced him that I mean, you've convinced him that we're all in this together. At this point, he is fully invested. He thinks that that this is a good deal for everybody involved, and so he has no problem staying. He doesn't have to send a represent. He lost like 3 ships in that last jump. They misjumped. Nobody knows where they're at. May not know
Yeah.
for weeks or possibly months, if ever.
Even
No,
years.
Maybe years.
Right. And while he might be in the conversation bitching or whining about that, you know, I might offer him a sympathetic ear or something, you know, kind of, but really at no level from the bottom of his toe to the top. Ting give a fuck
It doesn't
about those other
seem
ships.
like he's
Yeah.
that broken up about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it bothers
He's
him.
got plenty of. He's got
You know.
hundreds of hulls to take.
Man, yeah,
Right.
I'm just trying. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to, you know, see where this Captain Velas, you know, if he wants to send somebody with us, or if he's gonna act on good faith or whatever.
Oh, Velas
know.
is planning on following him.
Okay, so
he's got a jump 2 capable Corsair with a fuel bladder in the cargo hold, and he's ready to go.
okay.
And,
Is he going to
How
bring
about
any
his
of?
other ships?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. You know, is his other ships going to stay here? Are they going? What kind of fleet are we going? We can give you our projected areas of the system we're going to jump to, and you know, we can rendezvous there if you'd like.
The other ships, see, Vengeance was lost. Or no, Vengeance is back on number 1. He's got 2 other ships. There's Dancing Bear and Stalker. If I remember correctly, you guys sent Dancing Bear off to do something else, or convinced him to send Dancing Bear off to do something else. Maybe it also stayed at number 1. Or perhaps at Thebes. Either way,
They were going to retrieve that other ship that we gave to the number 1 people to be cool with. That
That's
Aslan.
right. That's
pirate
right.
ship.
We had 2 ships at number 1. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Lionsbane and Stalker are the only ships that remain. Stalker is a Type A3 fast trader. And it is with you because it has 2 particle beam barbettes. And
Yep.
and so he has 2 ships, Lionsbane and Stalker, and he was going to jump both of them.
Okay, well,
Oh,
if that's what he wants to do,
well,
I mean, yeah, the more the merrier is all I can say. That'll be fine.
You can say it.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, there's no point in fighting or arguing with him. If he wants to come out there, that's fine. His resources keep getting thinner and thinner until the time where, if we want to spring, we want to, you know, we'll do it. But I will try to convince him to leave his other escort ship here to try to deter tier pirates from coming in here. We want to redirect them to. You want them to prey on ACES, so that'll put pressure on the high rates that are there.
Go ahead and make another persuasion check. This one's going to be a little bit harder, though.
You just said how
Because-
it is.
Because Captain Velas isn't dumb.
Right. Well, that's 7.
Yeah,
no.
He's like,
Yeah.
he tells you point blank. He's like, to be honest, Ace isn't my concern. There's nothing here worth having. I honestly don't understand why anybody from Tier bothers with it. whatever Tyr wants to do as far as raiding Ace is their business. He says, my interest is solely in getting our share, the one share that we were going to share between myself and President Yang. That's my priority. So both of my ships, I plan for both my ships to follow you to this end point.
All right. Well, I'll see you there. As soon as you're refueled and all that, you can let us know if you want to coordinate and talk.
Okay. So.
And then I will. I'll cruise out of the bar and go to my local contact guy and ensure that the fuel is being delayed on their ships.
So you do find the local the sage that was sent off, and because of their pointy hats, they all kind of look the same. But you do find this individual, and he assures you that he talked to the starport technicians. They are he says they seem to be having some fueling issues.
That is wonderful. If you have bad fuel, this would be the time to unload it upon them. I'm not saying to sell it in a nefarious way, but this would earn favor with your current regent.
Yeah, he's uncomfortable with that. He's like, well, I mean, unrefined fuel. I mean, at the very least, that could cause a misjump, but at the worst, that could cost people's lives, and I'm not comfortable with that.
Oh, they have wonderful medics, I assure you.
Not if they jump into a star.
Well, that's just put the med bays to use.
Way it goes.
Yeah, but anyway, I'll thank him for his time, and I'll give him 1,000 credits just because really appreciate what he's doing.
That's a lot of money for these guys. He
thanks
idea. You profusely. And you can
his,
see the look on his face is like, wow, life under this new queen is going to be great.
It is. As long, and I've got this camera drone kind of circling around.
Right.
Doing this, and like, yeah, man. As things progress, you're going to see that this is going to be a real prosperous time. Coming upon you, and I guess that's that. The only other thing I know to do is try to catch Peter Valus alone somewhere and kill him.
I mean, yeah. So
something tells me he's a good fighter, though.
He probably is, yeah.
But I doubt that he has fucking arc-filled razor claws as augments.
He's got some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
But so Beth, the more that you three are spending looking over stuff, I mean, they are referring you to more and more as the regent. Even the lead sage is now he's just given in, and he's referring to you as regents. And so you can put down on your sheet or make a note that you have a new title as Regent of ACE. Which, I mean, again, that title's not nearly as glorious as it might sound.
It's not going to give her a social point, is it?
No, there's.
Well, maybe if I make this place less shitty, it will, but not yet.
Yeah, it's just got to be useful,
Yeah.
But yeah, you can also. I mean, at this point, you can classify ACE as a haven because you are the protector of ACE, and the sages of ACE are all kinds of excited. But for the most part, the rest of your time here, in a TL8 dome, is fairly boring, and you're basically just waiting around, drinking bad tequila that's made with real tequila.
Well, I have a contract I have to write. And I have to have the Regent Beth sign it.
What is your contract that you're writing?
Oh, we have to align them with Drinax and make sure that they pay a tribute tax of 5% of all income coming in and out must go to King Olaf or his heir as tribute for our protection and oversight of this. And then there is a 2% tax on all things going to that will be paid to the Regent Queen uh, to keep her favor and her protection as we increase trade.
Okay.
And she can buy a real palace eventually.
Right. Yes. There's that. Yeah. So go ahead and make a advocate. Either your choice, either advocate or admin plus intellect or education.
I'm going to take the advocate and the education, and I'm still going to roll with +3 because I am the lawyer, even if I fuck it up.
And he
Damn
gets
it!
yeah.
Well, you do come up with a. I mean, it's a functional contract. There are a lot of loopholes in it, but you're guessing that none of these guys are really going to be too apt at being able to find those. Their skill is at looking and watching the atmosphere.
This only needs to be a temporary contract. We could redo this.
Right.
When
you have the final sit down with all of the allied worlds at Drinax, that's when things are really hammered
but this,
up.
I mean, this, I'm writing it. I'm having Captain Beth sign it because she's in charge of the world. So, I mean, the difficulty level of pulling off what I'm trying to do, I think, would be very low because she's the queen. But that's what I'm going for, is saying, well, if she's in charge, we've got time to kill. Here's the contract. You sign this, and then maybe hand it off to the sages to do a rubber stamp, and I will file it in our shit that we've done.
Okay. So you can classify ACE as a haven, and someplace for you to use as a bolt hole, and Beth is the regent in charge of the planet, and most of the day goes by, and you're finally, one of the sages receives a message from the Star Patrol that your ship is refueled.
Oh, hey man, so long. Thanks for the fish.
So Regent Beth, are you going to leave a sage as your interim power holder?
That's a good question.
Which one looks the least stupid?
Well, I mean, they're all overly religious types. They're
all reading colors in the sky.
6 of
Which
one,
one has
half
the
a dozen
largest
the
hat?
other. Well, there's one that has a smaller tinfoil hat than the rest. So, I mean, probably the lead.
That'll deflect fewer rays.
That's right.
Less protected.
Yeah, probably the lead sage probably seems like he's the most together. At least he has the ability to try and wrangle the other idiots. So
he can be in charge of interim matters, but nothing that can loophole out of the contract we just signed. So that's what I'll delegate to him, like immediate concern.
Okay, so you get that set up. As you're sitting on ACE, Beth, you can go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check for liftoff.
Got 10.
Okay, so the docking collar pulls back, and Cyrus lifts off of this basically this smooth ice shelf that you've been parked on. You can see that both the A3 fast trader and the Corsair are still docked, and the fuel lines are still connected. So evidently that worked for you. And
they've been tinged.
And so you lift off and start making your way to the 90 diameter limit in order to make your jump. And in that process, Keith, you can make an astrogation check.
Okay.
Which will take several hours.
Uh, 13.
Okay. So So Keith, in the process between leaving and heading to that 90 diameter jump limit, Keith is plotting astrogation to this blank hex, and everybody's hair is standing on end because this is nerve wracking. But hey, at least you have, the fuel bladder, and you're not. If you do come out and there's nothing there, at least you can jump to Salif or somewhere else, or like Gregor said, even Homestead. And who wants to make the engineering power plus intellect or education check?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Roll it. And we all die.
Got a 9.
Okay.
That's not bad. Hell yeah, we're fine.
So the lights dim, and Keith, you can make a J drive plus intellect or education, and because of your good astrogation, you get a +5.
Okay.
21.
Nice. And you jump.
All right.
Gee, I'd be surprised at 21 if we didn't just instantaneously teleport to the side.
Right. Yeah. You guys are actually going. You're estimating that you will arrive out of jump 6 hours early, and so you spend the next week in jump. Is there anything that you're doing to prep for coming out into blank, empty space?
Roby 3.
I have a couple of things I want to do to my battle dress.
Okay.
I want to repair the flight and stealth capabilities of the battle dress.
Okay. You can make a mechanic plus intellect or education check. And Ting, if you're going to work on Robbie 3, you can make a science robotics plus intellect or education check.
I got 13.
I'm going to take my time
Okay.
over the whole week, 14.
So yeah, so Ting, you are in the workshop. You are able to get a third robot functional. You'll need to make a computers plus education or intellect check as well. And you, Keith, you get to fix one of the problems with your choice of which one, flight or stealth. Your choice.
I'll start with flight.
Okay. So one of those will be repaired.
11.
Okay. So with an 11, Robbie's not. You are not able to hack into Robbie. You've got him functional, and he's sitting there powered down, but you are not able to hack into the computer. And for a few minutes, it seems like things might get a little scary for a minute, and then you're able to shut him down. And you're going to have to start the programming process over. But this takes like a week.
Yeah. Well, try it again next week.
And you guys,
next time.
You get the alarm that you are going to be coming out of jump. And you all arrive on the bridge, and there is a flash, and you come out of jump, and this is what you see. Of course, probably not this close. You're not that close to it, but...
That's impressive. Does it still have 2 ships on it?
It does indeed. So
those are Harriers, aren't they?
They are. Your passive sensors are detecting that in the old Starlight, this is the only thing in 3.26 light years in a parsec. This is the only thing there. And there is an old Sindalian space station that still has the Sindalian insignia emblazoned on the side of it. And docked on this are 2 Harriers.
And is this powered up and everything?
Well, there is some power because you are receiving an automated short-range radio call the closer you get to it.
What is it saying? I'm the comms guy.
So you flip the switch and you get an automated message that says, "This is Admiral Ghani Paras of the Star Guard. This station is off limits to unauthorized personnel. If you attempt to dock, this station will automatically self-destruct. Officers of the Star Guard with ducal level clearance transmit your authorization codes before attempting to dock.
I will forward that message to Captain Beth, and I'll be like, I highly suggest you transmit the ducal codes so we can go ahead and dock.
Yeah, before things go tits up.
Yeah, that might be good. I don't think they're much use anywhere else anyway. So, yeah.
Okay, so you transmit the codes, and another message comes in. This station holds the contents of the Imperial Vault of the Star Dragon. I implore you, use this treasure with wisdom and humility. The mistakes of the old dynasty must not be repeated. I have done my duty to humanity. I ask you to do likewise and wish you good luck. Admiral Ghani Paras, signing off.
Well, that was nice. He's a polite guy.
I'm going to go
He
ahead.
left a guilt trip for the future generations.
Yes. Don't screw up the ozone layer. Oh, wait.
Whatever. We need to get there and reactivate the security systems.
It's gonna be a vault full of like Aquanet cans.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Case after
Case after case of Aquanet.
case after case of Old Spice swagger.
Yes, Old Spice. Axe body spray.
We can take both of these ships to Salif. I mean, I don't know what the fuck's in the vault, but
we could
taking
stick them
both
on the docking clamps and carry them.
Taking 2 Harriers is a good idea.
Yeah.
Really?
So that makes us a mobile fleet. So anyway, yeah.
So you are receiving a docking clearance. Beth, if you would like to dock, you can make a piloting plus dex check.
Who's going to run the Harriers when what's his name shows up with his 2 ships?
Man, we'll see. This place has probably got all kinds of missiles and stuff going on. I should probably scan the fuck out of this place to see what it has, right?
Yeah, you can go ahead and make a sensors plus intellect or education check.
A 14.
So you scan it. So you find out a couple of disappointing things. One disappointing thing. The 2 Harriers that are docked, your sensors are picking up that these look like they have been gutted. Apparently, and you would have to actually do a walkthrough, but from what your sensors are showing, it looks like they've been stripped for parts. Your guess is that there was a 3rd Harrier, and these ships were stripped for parts for spares. So wherever Ghani Paras went, she stripped these 2 before she boarded her 3rd Harrier and left.
There's still the basic hull and chassis is there, though.
Correct.
And so, I mean, that they could be returned functional quicker than going from nothing.
That's true.
That is true.
So
We could put them in orbit around ACE, and then it'll look like there's ships there to cover with.
Turn them into system defense boats. Just don't even bother putting a jump drive in them. Just fill them with guns. Here you go.
There you go.
Fill them with guns and make sure they have a maneuver drive.
Right. That's all you need.
Does the station have like missile turrets and all kinds of shit?
It does have missile turrets. It has pulse laser turrets. It has sandcasters. It is fully defensible, and those defenses appear to be up and operating on an automated system, but it seems it's not like it's online, or at least it's not bothering to target you, probably because you transmitted the ducal codes.
Yeah, cool.
Yes. Wonder what's going to happen when this guy comes and shows up with no ducal codes.
Yeah, that could be problematic. So, Beth, what'd you get for your piloting check?
Oh, I got 13.
Okay. So Beth backs up and docks with the station, and who all is going aboard? What are you carrying? What are you wearing?
I'm going in full out battle dress.
Yeah, the death bots that one time kind of make me cautious.
Yeah, I agree.
We need to go straight to the command center of this place, but yeah, I'm going to bring a death bot.
Okay, so you're...
Yeah, I think
You want me to
everybody's going
stay
on board, right?
You want me to stay or go?
Follow your heart.
Well, I mean, unless there's 2,000-year-old people that are still walking around, which is unlikely. I mean, probably don't
Right,
have to
yeah.
stay and guard the
You
ship.
can
Plus,
leave,
there's one guard.
You can put the second death guard here to guard our ship.
Right. Yeah,
Yep,
you guys
sure
can all
can.
go.
And
Yeah.
It's just cool to
I'll put
see,
my
isn't it?
combat armor on
Okay.
and bring my. Okay, tell me, is this facility safe from slug weapons? Are they going to go through the wall, or do I need to use something else?
High velocity slug weapons will probably be problematic, as will, like, really big particle guns. Like a PGMP is going to be problematic. You could
Yeah, no.
So I shouldn't use my AP mags?
probably not. No. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. That can make things a lot more interesting. But
I'm going to bring my shotgun and my assault pistol.
okay,
Well,
yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
like a control center or something. We can easily get a map to that.
Yeah, so you guys step off of the Osiris onto this base, and as soon as the doors, the airlock opens, the lights kind of automatically come on for you. And aside from a little bit of dust, this place doesn't look like it's been opened in 2,000 years. It looks pristine in here. There's brass railings that go down the sides of the walls, about waist high. There's a red line or a red runner carpet that goes down the middle of the hallway. It is the ostentatious bullshit that is known for the Sindalian Empire. And but yeah, you find a wall monitor, and you are able to pull up schematics and directs you to ops.
Let's head there, is what I suggest.
As you're walking down the hallways, you pass by what looks evidently are crew quarters or sort of staterooms. Some of the doors are open, and you can see that there are crew lockers that are left open, like somebody left in a hurry kind of situation. The doors are just left open. Most of them are empty. There are a couple of Starguard uniforms that are hanging in the lockers.
Cool! I want one of those.
Yeah, you can.
They have one of my size.
I'm sure that you can find one in your size. And finally get to ops, and again the door to ops opens, and when it first opens up, the room is completely dark, and all that you can see is this distant starlight that's coming in through the windows, and then you can see the glow from the computer monitors that are all active, and a couple of holographic displays. And then as you step in, the lights all come alive, and you can see that several more of these computers, as you step in, they kind of come to life as well. Who wants to check out the computer systems?
I'll check out the computer systems.
Okay.
Check them out. Hell yeah. You
Good.
want to do
Alright.
it?
Yeah, go ahead and make an electronics computers plus intellect or education check.
I have computers one as well.
You can make that as well.
Well,
12.
12.
Okay, 3 12s. So the first thing that you find. So there is 7,000 tons of refined hydrogen fuel available on the base for refueling. And there are automated unrep systems available to automatically connect to the Osiris and begin refueling operations.
Go ahead and start that doing right now. Yeah.
Ting, you find that there is a armory aboard that is filled with well, it says that there are hold on here, let me find it. So the armory has 2 cryo breaching units.
Well, that's interesting. Too bad I don't have explosives. I need my wafer jack.
I mean, this is God. I mean, this is untouched, and we have control of this. I mean, this is big. I mean, this is, even if we don't find anything worth a shit inside. I mean, just this station, I mean, is big.
There
It's a
are
big deal.
there are
Yeah.
10 Sindalian officers' revolvers
Ooh,
Nice,
those
yeah.
are nice.
with 6 full reloads, including mutiny charges for each revolver.
A mutiny charge set like
So, do you know what a
Is that
do you know what
Sabo?
do you know what a Lamat revolver is?
yes, it's shotgun.
Yeah. So that's what a Sindalian's officer's revolver is. They come with 2 different kinds of rounds for the cylinder. They hold 8 plus 1 in the mag, and the red cartridges are considered hot rounds. Blue cartridges are cold rounds, but they also have the 0G property. And the hot rounds, the red cartridges, also have AP3. The mutiny cartridge is an underslung barrel that is effectively a fragmentation grenade that has a 5-meter blast radius.
And you shoot it out.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's like a baby 40-millimeter grenade gun.
Yes, essentially. Well, I mean, no, it doesn't shoot the grenade. It explodes and shoots the shrapnel out of the barrel.
Yeah.
There are 20 breaching guns, each with 6 reloads.
I'm not sure what you need with a reaching gun, but
Oh,
I mean, it's
they're
stuff.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're great. I
Auto
would
5
recommend-
at AP6 with Blast 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a ton of fun.
So yeah, I guess we need to go to this armory and look at all this stuff. Is that quick and easy? Really, I think my main concern is I want to get ready to work the station defenses and scan about and see if any of keep a watch for our friends coming in.
Well, last but not least, there are 20 boarding guns
Those
with
are
6
fun,
reloads for each of
yeah.
them. And boarding guns are essentially high velocity submachine guns that have an underslung barrel that fire a dart, an explosive dart that has blast 2 and does 60 damage.
holy
Ooh.
moly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Man,
we
we
could
could
take,
put
we
yeah.
could take a fast trader pretty good with that.
Well, I mean,
Right.
we already have Marines and stuff.
Yeah, you can fully equip them.
Yeah,
True.
we could really upgrade. We have to get all that shit loaded up. But
So Keith, you look at the computer, and all it says is that in the cargo hold of this station, it reads that the cargo hold is currently full, and as far as contents go, it says Sindalian Star Dragon Royal Vault.
nice.
Time to go vaulting.
Yeah, let's check it out then.
So yeah, you guys, you head down to the cargo hold,
I
and
want to get a link to the system defenses, so that way and return on the automated defenses for if someone else comes into the system.
okay.
Do
Yeah,
do I get anything for my roll of 12?
Oh, your rule of 12. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, your rule of 12 was the armory. Ting's was the 7,000 tons of refined fuel, and Keith's was finding the treasure vault.
Cool.
So you head down to the cargo hold, and you open the cargo hold, and all the lights are off. It is dark in there. But even the light that comes in from the hallway when the cargo hold opens, you can see that there is stuff in here that is really tall, and there seems like there's a lot of it.
We have lamps on our battle dress and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
but they're not enough to really give you a full idea of what it is that you're looking at. But you do see in the corner there is a computer pad on the wall.
Yes, definitely. Captain Beth needs to go there with the code and
See
then,
what we got.
Yeah, then Keith or I, probably the better computer people, go over there to do keypad computing.
Well,
we could all go over there.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, let's take a look. See if we can get the lights on.
Yeah. Do you want to try the ducal codes, or do you want to just try to use computers to turn on the lights?
I'll use the codes and see if it does anything.
So yeah, you plug in the ducal codes, and you can hear the lights turn on, ka-chunk, 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 as it goes down the line. And what you're looking at are 2 rows of torpedoes.
Woo!
And the computer pad comes to life, and it lists that there are 24 high-yield Planet Buster atomic warheads.
Wow.
These things do 2DD damage to a ship, which would be 4DD to whatever you drop onto a planet.
Dang.
There are also 24 punitive plague warheads.
I think we should burn those.
Yeah, I'm not down with plagues.
Well, I mean, we don't have to use them, but I mean,
we could. You want to sell them?
Well, no, I mean they could be used as a deterrent. Bad.
And here is the
Doomsday
thing.
device, kind of.
So Dr. Belzoni has followed you, and he's kind of been muttering to himself and writing down notes on his pad. And he's, for the first time since you've met him, is speechless. You didn't even have to slap him this time.
Yeah.
And he's looking at this room, and he says, the reality is that the treasure of Sindal wasn't in gold or iridium or platinum or even diamonds. It was in Sindal's first strike capabilities. And that's what this is. And
I have no intention of sharing this with fucking Captain V.
He immediately he scribbles down and he says, well, this has to be reported to the Imperium as soon as we get back.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. But, the thing is, we're a long way from the Imperium, Professor. And I have a feeling that you will be studying this station for, the foreseeable
years.
For the foreseeable future.
Years.
Yeah.
Where would you like your burial plot?
No, I mean, you'll need to find you some suitable quarters, but we'll give you some high end one. It'd be lavish and comfortable here, Professor.
So yeah, these. So to give you an idea, the obviously the nuclear torpedoes. So these are torpedoes, not missiles. They are quite a bit larger than missiles, but they inflict 2DD damage. The punitive plague torpedoes, these are artificial, viral, and bacteriological weapons. They were developed at the high end of TL-14 and can overcome most commonly available countermeasures. If a plague weapon is dropped on an unpopulated planet, you roll 2D on this chart and apply the following DMs. They get a +1 for every TL below 14, a -1 if they have a TL above 15. +2 per extra warhead that's deployed, minus a DM equal to the population code of the planet, -2 if the planetary population is dispersed, like an agricultural world versus a garden world, +2 if the planetary population is especially concentrated, like an asteroid or a hostile atmosphere. -2 if the planet has a sizable alien minority population, and a -4 if the planet has a majority alien population. So the example that they gave, example, Peter Valus drops 6 plague warheads on the Aslan world of Kusai. The DMs are as follow: +10 because he used 5 extra warheads, +2 because TL12, -6 because the population is 6 of that world, -2 for agricultural, and -4 for majority Aslan. For a total DM of +0. On a throw of 8+, he kills millions of Aslan. A planet struck by successful biological attack may fall into chaos even if the population survives. The government type becomes 0, law level becomes 0, and or be designated a red zone.
Well, that's just special.
You
Yes.
need to make.
So the
Yeah.
only
So-
way that I could think of these things needing to be around is it, like, remember a long time ago we ran into something that was almost like a xenomorph,
Yeah.
but if being an alien like subtracts from its effectiveness, then
Well, no,
that's-
it adds to it. It lowers
Oh.
the DM.
oh, okay, I thought you were saying it subtracted from your roll.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's actually
Oh.
subtraction from the dice modifier. So,
Yeah.
like I said,
It
when
That's
he
the only.
this example, he drops 6 warheads, he ends up with a +0. So,
Okay,
yeah. It says the
'cause
use
there
of
are some species
Yeah.
out there that might not be.
I don't feel
Agreed.
comfortable turning this kind of shit over. I'm going to share to either the
Yeah,
president
given
or
3 of
Captain
these.
Vez.
Given 3
Yeah.
well, and
Yeah.
that's why
to an
that-
insane pirate lord who has a private war going on is
Well,
not
we're
a
gonna
Yeah,
have,
I
good
don't.
idea.
I don't want the plague warheads to exist. I want to launch them into the nearest sun,
all right. So
if possible.
what I want to do is we could definitely fire them towards sun or destroy them, or we can take the plague aspects out and convert them to different kind of missiles, just because they've got the countermeasures and all that shit that make them really powerful. We maybe retool them and destroy the actual plagues. Juice.
Maybe I don't know. That
Yeah,
has some risk involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of risk involved.
So it does say that
That's
should the travelers use any of these weapons openly, it counts as a double atrocity if used against a world not aligned with a great power, including worlds of the opposing power, and an octuple strength atrocity if used against a world of a great power. So Peter Valus's
Octuple
imperial standing
atrocity.
would drop by 2D if he bombed Kasai, while his Aslan standing would drop by 8D. I don't know that you
so
can
he's
get much more
basically
negative.
committing suicide if he uses the other if he uses one of
Yeah.
the torpedoes on any Aslan.
What-
It's like
Right.
done, right?
Yeah, he's
What
going to
if
become
we,
public enemy number 1. He's going to make you guys look like Tinker Toys if he
But-
deploys this. Both the Aslan and the Imperium are going to be all over his shit.
But they also have, because of their atrocity level, if we could work out a deal to turn these over to the Imperium to destroy them, we might be able to get favor points with them fuckers, and
Right.
maybe get
And
and we
that
could
that-
prove
is what
Drinax.
Professor Hout Belzoni is trying to tell you. Like, we'll just contact the Imperium, and they'll take care of it.
oh yes,
Wait,
Professor.
what if they don't though?
Well, no, we can deliver them to them.
They'll take care of them. They'll put them in a
I
separate
don't-
storage.
Yeah, I don't know if I
facility
trust the Imperium with these
to
weapons.
use when they
Yeah, I
need
don't
to
think
destroy
anybody can be
the
trusted with the
planet.
plague.
I'm anti-government.
Okay.
I don't trust the government.
Yeah, well, there's not a star here. We'll
I
have
mean,
to take them
when
to
it
a
comes
different.
to,
You
like,
know,
plague
I was a
stuff,
federal
no,
employee.
I
I know
don't.
how bad they are.
It's- I still think our immediate thing is we have the Captain Valus is coming. We should prepare the Osiris and maybe hide it behind the space station. And when he comes in, we let him come. Let him think it's okay to
Family
dock,
without the ducal codes.
and then when he comes, no, I'm just saying, let him
I
think
thought it
it's
said it would self-destruct if somebody docked.
Right, if
without
somebody
seeing it.
without the ducal codes tries to dock, the station will self-destruct.
right.
Which basically just means it's going to pop a bubble in its fusion reactor, and the whole thing's going to glow really hot. There will be a new
Yeah.
star in this. A short-lived
But
star will
I-
suddenly ignite in this parsec.
I am 100% launching those into the sun, the plague ones, if nothing else. Those are the ones that they need to go into the sun. I don't care.
Do
Well,
these
there's no
missiles-
sun around.
There's no sun around.
and you don't have a
We're
There's
torpedo
no sun
launcher.
anywhere.
No.
we're
Yeah, it's
we're
a
in
whole
dead
jump. The sun's at least a jump away, if not two.
Well, we can probably ditch them in Salif and fire them off into a star there.
Yeah.
This is correct.
Which, yeah. So I mean, I think our first thing is to get a total rundown of the whole station, what all's here, while we wait for our.
I would
our
like
friends
to
to
be
show
able
up.
to go
We
into
should
the
get ready.
computer. I'd like to be able to go into the computer and start turning things on.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. We should turn on any defense systems we have so that we can
Yeah.
shoot him out of the air before he gets
I
docked.
think does that
So I
seem
guess-
reasonable?
Yeah. So I guess you two need to go down to engineering, and get that.
So
Shit.
wait, we're gonna kill a pirate lord or thief and
Out
expect
here-
it not to get back to us. Is that the plan?
Well, I
That's
mean,
happening.
if
Well,
there
I
was
mean-
ever a space version of a back alley, this is it.
You're out in the middle of literally nowhere. Like nobody knows how to get here other than you and Peter Valis. So
Well, I
The
thought
alternative is that we load everything that we want to take with us, and we let him self-destruct this ship, this station.
I don't think. I personally, I
That's
would
a
like
good
to keep
idea.
this station. I'd like to keep it as a base of operations. We could.
It could be
I mean, this-
very handy.
well,
This
but
is right here in the dust belt in an unknown place, and it's already got tons of fuel for refueling. I mean, God, that's golden.
If nothing
And
else,
it's all active for defenses.
what's more golden is all of the biological missiles getting destroyed along with Peter Valis with plausible deniability of what happened. That's worth more than the station to me currently.
Well, can we try to kill Peter Bayless with a quick trap and then leave the evidence when we leave as we want?
don't
I
we-
mean,
why don't we send a couple of these planet busters after him?
no, we don't need to do that. Just let him think it's okay to dock. Have the Osiris on the other side of the station, and when he gets up close, so all of our weapons can fucking nail his ass, we fucking rip him a new butthole. I mean, we do critical hit. I mean, close range hits with everything we fucking got, and try
And the
to make.
station.
We do
And
have
then-
an ion cannon. We could disable him in the sky
Yeah, he's
while
got
trying
two
to dock.
ships, but we can. I mean, we can seriously make them have a bad day, and if we load everything on our ship that we want to take right here on the front end of all this encounter, if worse comes to worse, then fuck it. We'll just take off in the Osiris and ditch the station behind, but we'll take everything that we want or care about with us.
We need to murder the nerd guy too, though.
Oh, you're talking about Professor guy?
Yeah,
Well, no, I
'cause
mean,
he's
we can.
gonna.
Yeah, well, we can decide what we want to do with him. We can give him a brig status. We can put him.
You have to permanently enslave him. See, the other thing makes it sound like, well, gee, they went to dock and I guess something went wrong and everything exploded. That sure is a shame about Peter Valis. This
but
other
it's
way is
terrible
like
about
we're
that
murdering
professor.
guys and we gotta cover
I
it up.
wouldn't even tell him we knew where he was.
Yeah. Well,
They
I
don't-
think.
they
Yeah.
Well,
don't know where-
you were told by King Oleb that King Oleb wanted you to secure the treasure of Sindal for him. That was the first thing he told you. And the second thing he told you is that, if there is some kind of problem in doing that, maybe this professor has an accident.
Yeah, that's true. And I didn't care about him a whole lot.
So yeah.
It feels
go ahead.
shitty to murder him to cover up another murder, I guess.
We should
Like
just kill him
because he'll
now.
blab.
I think we should
It's
just ask
kind of
him-
like
we should
lying. You
just
tell
give
one
him a
lie, and you got to tell
suggestion.
another lie to cover it up, and then
Yeah.
another lie to cover it up.
I
You got to
think we
kill
should
this
just-
guy, then you got to kill that guy.
What when you say stripped on these Harriers? Like, I mean, are they repairable and able to be made function again? Or they just
They don't have maneuver drives. They don't have jump drives. Their reactors are shut down because it is missing most of the parts. They have no fuel. Their guns have been stripped out. Most of the consoles are stripped out. In the amount of time that you have been here, you walked through at least one of them, and I mean the whole thing. They are gutted. Like if you've ever been inside like an RV that somebody's going to renovate where they've gutted it,
Yeah.
and before they do any work, that's what it looks like. They are literal skeletons.
And all of the Sindal treasure is just basically these fucking torpedo missiles
Warheads.
and planet bus. Yeah.
That is
No.
the Sindalian treasure.
Right. And the only weapons or arms or anything else on the station was there listed in that armory.
Correct.
And
But-
there
There are 3 armories on this station. The other 2 armories are empty. You see
okay.
some empty ammo canisters sitting around, and
Right.
that's about the extent of it.
But what about the turrets and stuff? Do they still have ammo? Can they
The
still function?
sandcasters are empty, but the pulse lasers and the missile launchers have 1 rack each, and there's
Okay, yeah.
probably 10 missile launchers on this station.
And there's
So
what,
then-
3 missiles in a rack?
No, there's 12 per rack.
Do
And
we
the
have
Pulse
The-
lasers work?
The pulse lasers do work. Somebody will have to do some power management in order to bring the power levels up, but the reactor is online and functioning.
all right, so are we able to fit all of the stuff that we really care about? Are we able to take that with us? I mean, how much are we able to load up on the
Yeah, I don't see. Hold on here. Let me.
we
If the
definitely want to,
Harriers are stripped, we might be able to shove some shit in there and plant it.
So your ship has 36 tons or 36 d-tons of space for cargo. Yeah, you can load this all up into the cargo hold, including
okay.
all of the plague warheads and the atomics.
Yeah, then we need to get our Marines on that, on the double. Get it loaded, move it, motherfucker, move it.
Okay, so you've got Marines moving that.
Wait. Okay. Sorry. There's no easy way to destroy the plague missiles right now.
No.
Nope.
Right. So if we take them with us to
Unless we do Keith's idea, where we let Peter Bayless blow it all up, which would also be like poetic for him to
Yeah,
go
I mean,
get the thing they want and then destroys it all.
I'm still for leading it, blow him up and everything. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to top off our fuel tanks and load all this shit on the ship and then set the ship up, set the space station up. So it's, well, first we need to disable the warnings and make him think that he could just come dock right on in here, and then it just self-destruct.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So no
Do we-
warnings, just maybe send a welcome message out. So yeah, come on in, dock. Here's the thing, and then it's just as soon as it's doctor access, it just self-destructs, and there you go. And you
Do
know,
we
maybe,
leave the biological weapons on board so that they just get blown up?
Yeah, you could leave the biologicals on the
That's
station.
what I want. I don't
Yeah.
want to
All
bring
right.
plagues.
She's
We
like,
will-
I don't
yeah.
even want to touch these.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
I'm
will.
really sick of space plagues. Like, it's
Yeah.
fucked up too many things already.
I'm all for that, but any nuclear missiles or other missiles to top off our ammo
Yeah.
supply, we'll fill up that, and we'll clean out the armory, and
We take
And-
the missiles out
yeah.
of the racks.
yeah, and we're gonna send Crewbot around to try to get us as many spares as possible in the time that they have. We need the weapons going. We need the power going. We need sensors and that kind of shit. But any other kind of spares that, even if they're just cosmetics, that would be great. Even if they're taking them from those Harriers.
So if you're unloading there are 14 missile racks on this space station. Unloading them will net you 168 nuclear missiles.
We want all of them. Those are
Yeah,
great.
let's
Beautiful.
take them.
Yeah.
There are 28 pulse lasers on this space station.
Gee, I think
They're
How
worth-
many can we pull off of it in the amount of time we have?
Who's writing stuff down for what we're
How
doing?
many-
Well, you're
How
in
many
a hurry, so you don't know exactly how much time you've got. So I mean, you kind of.
I'm going to spend my time just looking and waiting for our friends to come in, and that's what I'm going to do.
So unloading all of those missiles from the racks with all of your Marines, and if all of you are hustling, it's going to take you like 6 hours.
Then get on it. It should
I
be done
suggest
yesterday.
I take one of the Harriers and we can put those pulse lasers back on the Harriers and see if we can find a maneuver drive and some navigation life support to put in and leave it at ACE.
You could theoretically, if you wanted to take the 2 Harriers with you, you could unhook them from the station, and Beth could dock the Osiris on each wing and attach them. And I mean, that will lower your jump capability to 1 parsec.
Well,
But-
since they're empty,
Yeah, that's true. They are empty.
I mean, we're just talking about a hull, and we're just trying to get something
true,
for
they are
somebody
really
to use
light.
as a system.
Yeah, they are really light. Yeah, I would say since they're emptied out, I mean, there's really no rules for this. I would say since they are completely gutted, they are just empty shells. You could attach these 2 Harriers to your ship and maintain your jump 2 capabilities.
And then we'll stuff it. We'll try to get as many pulse lasers or missile racks as we can. At least enough to outfit those Harriers with something. We already have 1 particle beam. We can add to one of them.
Okay, who wants to make mechanics checks? You can make mechanics checks for players. You can make additional mechanics checks. You got 2 droids. Your Marines are loading missiles.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make 2 mechanics checks, 1 for me and 1 for the astromech.
Okay.
Do 3 of them, Keith, for a crewbot too. Alfred.
Okay,
Alfred,
So
the crewbot.
Yeah.
got a 9 for the astromech.
Okay.
And a 13 for myself.
Okay.
And I forgot what the skill level of
He's
the
got
other droid
2. Alfred's got 2 in that
Alfred
engineering
has 2?
mechanics shit.
Yeah, let me hold on here. He
I believe.
is the crew droid.
Yeah.
Crew droid. I forgot I had him in here. So he has mechanic 2.
Sweet, so he got an 8.
Okay. So, did somebody else want to make a mechanic check? Anybody?
That's not my thing.
I
don't have the
I
skill,
don't-
or I would.
with the mechanic 0, I'm not so sure I want to roll.
It would be mechanic plus your intellect or education. So
I'll roll. I get
there
a 10.
you go. So out of this, you are able to salvage 7 pulse lasers.
All right. So that does that mean we could make 2 triple turrets and have 1 laser done over?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe they added quad turrets in the new High Guard.
All right.
So
Okay.
you could have
well,
one
cool.
turret with four lasers in it.
Were we able to take a missile turret at all?
Well, all you did was unload the missile turrets.
Okay.
You took all
And we
the ammo
just-
out of them.
Right. Okay. Well, cool. We got stuff, and we've looted.
So are you, at this point, ready to vacate the premises? And there is one last thing. You know that there is an automated message on this station.
Yeah, we need to get rid of the automated message.
I'm turning off the automated system while we're logged in as admin.
Okay.
You know, there on the thing, I'm gonna disable the automated system, and then with my Shrieker box, I'm gonna use the same voice, and I will say, Welcome to the Sindalian Historical Society's treasure ship. Please come aboard and be our guests for fine dining and a good time. and and then I will program the computer to send out a docking code to all the ships, and I'll set it up so that way if there are multiple ships that they get sent to different docking things.
Okay.
And then when they dock and the
Make it
and the
go ahead and make it electronics, computers plus intellect or education.
all right.
Okay. Yeah, because you are logged in as admins. You have no problem really setting that up exactly as you described. And so anybody that comes into this parsec of space and approaches the station is going to receive this automated message that you have set up, this altered automated message that's basically telling them that it's fine to dock.
Yeah, welcome aboard. Free refueling.
But you are maintaining the self-destruct sequence.
Yes.
Yes, as soon as anybody else comes through the airlock, and all that, I wanted a delayed 10 minutes, and then this whole place goes boom, and then I want to set up a sequence where the lights will turn on from the airlock into a central briefing room for a presentation. Come this way for the presentation.
Okay. Are you setting up a presentation? Now I'm curious.
No, the presentation is
the explosions. The
I'm gonna set it up.
Yeah,
Freedom.
I mean, the presentation will be I'm not going to do anything stupid. The presentation will be a countdown clock that is 1 minute longer than the explosion, and it'll be this long until the until the presentation of the planet busting missile heads, will be on display for the power of Sindal. Hoo-ha!
Okay. So you have this whole elaborate plan set up, and you guys set this whole thing up, and the Osiris is loaded. You get these 2 Harrier shells attached to the whoops, that's the wrong button. You get them attached to the wing sections of the Osiris.
And then where do we want to go?
So just go on these ends. And then, yeah, that's the question. So let me.
We should go back to ACE, and we can go to ACE and rig up the Harrier thing that we wanted to, and then we can.
Well, so it's going to be difficult to rig up the Harrier thing at ACE because they have no shipyards.
Yeah, never mind.
Salif has that Class A shipyard right there.
They do have a Class A part.
Better.
Yeah, they have a Class A starport at Salif.
We might have to spend 10 or 20 million credits to get these things
and
doing anything.
You have a contact on Salif with Tisney Zazzle.
Oh yeah, let's see how they're doing.
I can go
remember
hello, fellow planet queen.
Oh, that's right.
So Keith, go ahead and make your astrogation check. And Beth, you can make a piloting plus dex check to undock.
So I got 9.
I got 13.
Okay. And Gregor, go ahead and make a electronics power, or I'm sorry, engineering power plus intellect or education. Last question: Are you leaving the professor on the station, or are you taking him with you?
I'm just going to kill him. I'm just going to go, Professor, like the clock that's going. I'm going to kind of, just as we're getting out into the airlock, I'm just going to cut him with my razor claw across the face.
I think
Just-
we ought to. I think we ought to take him to Drinax and let him leave him in the the high tower or whatever it is.
He knows too much. He's got
Yeah,
to
the
go.
level of annoyingness in the whole star
Yeah.
system will go
just-
down, like
yeah,
perceivably, and
yeah.
everyone will be happy.
I will be the last with the professor as we enter the airlock, and I will kill him in the airlock.
And push his body out.
Yeah, as we go out to the jump spot, I will space his dead corpse.
Okay, so I'm not gonna
Gotta be
make you even
done at
make a
this
roll
point.
for it. He completely trusts you, and you coup de grace him and just
Yeah.
drag your claws across his throat and end him.
Oh my god!
I
So
should be able to get him with one. I mean, it's the claws do 4D, and they have an AP of 20.
right, yeah,
So-
yeah,
He's
he
done.
probably doesn't even have a head anymore. And
Yeah.
so you guys
over.
undock and are making for your jump limit, and
Somebody else shows up.
Keith, you can go ahead and make your J Drive plus intellect or education check to jump to Salif.
All right.
We probably delayed them a day or two in their stuff. We weren't even here that long because we're a fast ship. I mean, I bet we got in and out. We don't even have to travel that far to jump because of
Yeah.
space station and the small gravity.
Yeah. So I got a 9.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are getting ready to jump, and you detect your passive sensors detect there is a incoming jump of 2 ships that come into system. Now they are sending out active sensors. There is no indication that they detect you because you are in a stealth ship, and you jump, and that's the last that you see of that system for the week that you're in space to Salif. We will pick this up next week, and we're probably going to do a bit of a time jump. So you can, we'll talk about what you want to do as far as renovating those 2 ships and how you want to deploy them. It's really going to depend on how much money you want to spend getting them shored up to a usable point. But I am going to say that everybody gets 2 XP points, and you can spend XP on page, I want to say, no, maybe that was the wrong page. Am I off? Yes, page 39 of the Traveler Companion gives you the gaining skills chart and gaining characteristics chart on how to spend those XP points.
Could you? Which book?
It's Traveler Companion.
I don't think I have that one.
It should be on the server, but hold on, let me... Actually, it might already be in here. Let me see.
Sure.
I think I am going to.
Yeah, we gotta put kids to bed. I think I'll spend them at the beginning of the next session. If that's cool.
Yeah, you can do that.
Alright, good game, everybody.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Yeah,
Yeah,
hold on here. Here we go. Gaining skills. I will add a handout.
I now have Gunner Turret 1.
There you go, Glenn.
We get 2.
So the one house rule that we have is no skill can be higher than 4, and And of course, you're still limited by your intellect plus education times 3 for the number of skill points that you can have total.
Well, one of the obvious ones I'm going to do is my Vac Suit 0 is going to go to Zac Suit 1.
That's a good idea, yeah.
So I could get a better damn suit.
That is a good idea.
I grabbed Gunner Turret 1 because we always seem to have lots of guns.
Yeah,
and not enough
yeah, you
people
can
to
never
shoot
go
them.
wrong with turret.
So I was able to get. I used 1 point to get 0 and another point to get 1.
Yep, that's how you do it.
All right. Well, then good. That was fun. I guess.
And I'll
See
get Gunner.
Friday.
Yes, Friday at 7 o'clock for Deep Night Revelation.
All right. Well, thank you. Had a lot of fun. Good night.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
He got to kill someone, and I didn't. Oh well, such is life.
Poor Professor Belzoni.
Poor Professor Belzoni.
I like how you guys just say, yeah, he knows too much. All right, have a good night.